Cybersecurity Today is brought to you by the generous support of our sponsor, Beauceron Security. You can get their 2024 State of Cybersecurity Awareness Report at beauceronsecurity.com, and there's a link you can follow in the show notes.
The U.S. to ban Kaspersky for businesses and consumers. Welcome to Cybersecurity Today. It's Friday, June 21st, 2024. I'm Howard Solomon, contributing reporter on cybersecurity for TechNewsDay.com. Several countries, including the U.S. and Canada, have forbidden government departments from using Kaspersky cybersecurity products because the company is headquartered in Russia. On Thursday, the U.S. went one step further. It said Kaspersky won't be able to sell its products to American residents and businesses starting July 20th. Reuters quoted Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo saying Russia's influence over the company is a significant risk to the U.S. Kaspersky says it has no ties to the Russian government. Gullible employees are cutting and pasting malware into their organization's IT systems. That's according to researchers at Proofpoint. The tactic, created by a threat actor, works like this. Employees get a pop-up text box on their screens saying an error has occurred when they try to open an email attachment or a web page. The pop-up tells them to hit a button to copy and paste a script into a PowerShell terminal or a Windows Run dialog box. The instruction may say the code is a new root certificate or just a software fix. But unknown to the employee, the script triggers malware. One way this attack is delivered is by employees falling for fake browser updates that compromise their browsers. This attack can be blunted by regularly reminding employees not to follow instructions in pop-up boxes. Staff must also be reminded to follow only the approved way to update any software, including browsers. E-commerce sites using Adobe Commerce or Magento appear to be slow patching a critical vulnerability. That's according to researchers at SANSEC. They report that 7 days after Adobe issued a patch, only 25% of online sites it checked had installed the update. The reason the number is so low? The fix may break the website's customer checkout function. SANSEC says that if an IT administrator can't upgrade their platform, at the very least, make sure any Linux servers running Adobe Commerce or Magento are patched. There's also a string that can be added to the website code that will help. Organizations that allow employees to create reports using Microsoft's Power BI tool are being warned of a potential vulnerability. Power BI is a data visualization tool for creating and publishing reports, but researchers at Nokod Security say the underlying raw corporate or personal data can be accessed in Power BI reports. Now, depending on the organization's security risk model, that may be okay for internally published reports. But it's not if the report can be accessed by anyone over the internet. Nokod Security says that a simple internet search string found over 160,000 Power BI reports that are open to the web. Microsoft told the researchers the ability to access raw data is a product feature. That means it's up to organizations to make sure reports created with Power BI are protected. Desktop administrators with PCs running Intel Core processors should be watching for firmware updates from the computer's manufacturers. Researchers at Eclipsium say there's a serious vulnerability in PCs that use the Phoenix Secure UEFI firmware. The vulnerability allows a local attacker to escalate access privileges. In other words, it's a firmware backdoor. Last month, Lenovo published BIOS updates for its affected computers, and other manufacturers will likely follow. Other firmware backdoors that security pros may be familiar with are called Black Lotus, Cosmic Strand, and Mosaic Regressor. Those who build their own computers with Intel Core processors and motherboards with Phoenix firmware should investigate their options. And finally, a new background report on Ransom Hub has been released for defenders. This is a new ransomware as a service platform offered to crooks. According to researchers at Recorded Future, the gang behind Ransom Hub has created versions that can exploit Windows, Linux, and VMware ESXi servers. To attract affiliates to use their platform, Ransom Hub promises to give them 90% of any funds that victim organizations pay to get their data back. That's it for now, but late tonight, the Week in Review will be available. Guest commentator David Shipley and I will discuss the hack of an organization that went undetected for perhaps 3 years, more detail on snowflake attacks, and allegations by Australia's Privacy Commissioner into what caused a huge data breach of a medical insurance provider. Links to details about news mentioned in this podcast episode are in the text version at technewsday.com. Follow Cybersecurity Today on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or add us to your flash briefing on your smart speaker. Thanks for listening. I'm Howard Solomon.